out to a mining resource somewhere to the west of the town called Gemfield. Now, I'm certain that Gemfield is as old as Goldfield, but it was nothing and nobody paid any attention to it as far as driving by on the highway for years. You can also see that this is brand new highway, and where it's split off, the old highway goes off to the left there and continues straight into town. For whatever reason, they built the new highway to diverge. I don't know, probably for a better climbing angle. I really have no idea. This is someday going to be an interstate of one or another. There's a sign for Gemfield, 3 miles to the west. And it's another town that there's a bit of a climb going into town. You can really lose speed, but they made it better by lowering the speed limit. Yeah, that was a joke. They lower the speed limit to 55, and if you're a very heavy vehicle or if the wind is exceptionally high, which it happens to be quite often out here, you lose quite a bit of speed climbing this hill. And you charge at it doing 70 miles an hour, and you might lose a couple miles an hour as you get up the hill further and further. But when you already have to slow down for the speed limit, 15 miles an hour, it really takes the gusto out of you. In the distance, you can see all of the Joshua trees. I had never seen Joshua trees until I was in my teens and I visited Palm Springs. And then I didn't see him again for decades until I started driving truck. I was once told that the only two places they grow are here in the southwest United States and Israel. I don't know if that's true. You can leave it in the comments if you know better. This town seems to be booming a little bit. Like I was saying earlier, they are awfully proud of the fact that they don't require building permits. So I don't know how fast that's going to help things move along as far as population. The mining, if it stays strong, if they change the mineral or they change the type or they change the land that they're mining, I really don't know. But if all of it is to the progress of the city or town, perhaps they'll change the law about the building permits and we'll actually see a boom again in this little bird. It's fun and interesting to get out of the truck and walk around. I've done it twice in the last 20 years. The first time was back around 2010. I had lunch. I met the mayor having lunch. Nice lady. She was trying to sell me real estate. Tell me what a great idea it would be to move here, and I thought, no, I'm good. I appreciate it. Thank you. They've got a lot of antique stores in town, of course. Love that. But they're kitschy, you know. They're antique stores generally are suited to the area that they are in, and so this one is going to have a lot of old tractor equipment or lanterns or mining car equipment, stuff like that. Now this little store off here to the left, right there, will buy your gold or jewelry. They'll weigh it for you, tell you the value of it, etc. Here's a equipment display, Goldfield, etc. Antique trucks and cars. You can see what I was talking about with the old buildings being clapboard, and you can hardly tell which ones are lived in and which ones aren't. Another interesting thing is this visitor center off to the left side. It's coming up. You can barely see it because of the angle and the zoom setting on the camera, but it's clay with bottle ends stuffed in it to let the light through. Off here is a bunch of old beat up houses and stuff like that. More clapboard buildings. Again, that one somebody actually lives in. Just super interesting stuff. And there is the giant Goldfield motel that I was telling you about. I guess it's only 4 stories. The shopping center, the local shopping center with what should be a restaurant and a bar. They don't have a single thing like that. The restaurant's at the end of town. The garage here, totally closed up. Vintage postcards, etc. More antique stores and knick-knack bric-a-brac places. The Chamber of Commerce is that little red house there on the left. Now, this other brick building, you just see it there on the left going by. The fire station on the right. The big brick building, the courthouse there, has a plaque in front of it. I love this old Shell station there on the left. That's super cool. And the old gas station, they put in fake outhouses. That's just cute. They've got a restaurant there. I've never gone into it. Anyway, I was trying to tell you that around the turn of the century, this place actually had a lot of people flocking to it. They were trying to make something of themselves. And this was long before Las Vegas was anything. And they had a boxing match, a world championship boxing match right here in this dirty little town. Pretty amazing stuff. And the plaque goes on to explain all of that. Really cool old hotel right there. Closed down, of course. I don't remember the details of the boxing match or who the guy was, etc. But I don't know, maybe if you Google up some keywords, boxing match, turn of the century, or 20th century, early, Goldfield, Nevada, you might find something. But that's your fun and interesting thing, and that's the tiny little town of Goldfield. And you've got to see some of it before it blows up into a thriving metropolis. And you can tell people that I saw it when. So, there, I did you a favor.